highest wise angels to guide me always to use this deck for the greatest good to others with insights, compassion, genuine authenticity. Wisdom, insights, compassion, genuine authenticity, and deep truths. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope you found this video at the right time. Welcome to Safe Space. Let's go ahead and let's start by letting our shoulders down. Relax your eyebrows, your tongue. And now let your original face settle in and breathe deep, relax. Ooh. Open your heart and your mind. And remember who you are for just a minute here. Pisces. This is for the sign of Pisces. First two cards that came up, you're not even ready. We got the sun and the star, which makes perfect sense because I feel like your reading, Pisces, the theme of your reading is living the dream. We're in this living in our fantasy, bringing that to fruition, projecting that out into the universe, out into reality, making it your reality, showing up. I'm getting this image of you backstage. Your hands are getting clammy, you're getting nervous a little bit, your heart is like just beating out of your chest, like this feeling of like having to get on stage, being the star of the show. Exactly. You are bringing your original self, original face to the forefront, and you are being one with yourself. This is you having to show a whole different side of you, Pisces, who you thought you could never ever be in front of anybody, is what I'm getting. You also never thought about having to come out in this way. I feel that this wildfire that Sagittarius season is bringing about to the collective is really pushing us to really face our original self. And that you may be one, Pisces, living this up, living up to your dreams, living up to your wish fulfillments. These are things that, this is you coming back to your basic programming that you perhaps forgotten for quite some time. You've like maybe and have been suppressing this side of you that you thought you can't be, or allowed to be, or even allowed to express, allowed to be creative, longing for this change, Pisces. I have the 10 of Pentacles. This is having to come back to your sense of worth, your sense of wealth that has been suppressed for quite some time. You stepping out and having to honor so much of this side of you. And it's like, as you do this, it's this resonance that you're bringing about to the collective. And it is one that is very much inspiring to all. You know, you're the one on stage, you're the one, you're the star of the show, you're getting up there, you're confident, your self-esteem is now back up, and you're really having to also channel a whole lot of pain when, how do I word this? I have the Knight of Swords. feel like this is you just charging, and like that fire in you is just like reigniting, and you're just like charging and bringing the show back. You're bringing the brightness, the lightness in the room. I have the Chariot and the Ace of Swords. Some words also to keep in mind during this season. I have wealth, victory. It's also what I'm getting here with the Ace of Swords. I'm getting this image of you being on top and feeling a sense of victory, this sense of accomplishment, like yes, like I'm getting this like yes, I've pushed through this pain, I've pushed through this depression, or maybe what you are having to have episodes of anxiety and depression and just a sense of unease that you may be having, or where you were feeling for quite some time, and now you're having to channel all of this, and you're just like, this is my time to really show up for myself. And it has nothing to do with anybody, but this is having to prove to myself that I am all worth everything that I say I am. I love that, Pisces. Thank you for that energy. Like I said earlier, this is like having to come back and having to change something. Longing for change is what I said, sorry. Excuse me. Longing for change, longing for something to really show up for you in a brighter way, in a bigger way. You having to open your heart a little bit more, and not being so afraid of what people might say, what opinions of others, you know. This is having to really step up. Sorry, I'm an arranger. I like to arrange my cards just so I can have a better view from where I'm at. Not so having to conform. I think I had also mentioned this to our Cancers in terms of how they show up for the world and setting a different tone to society, and letting their sensitivity and honoring their sensitivity and showing that to society, and not having to conform to society. This is a way to, you bring resonance. We bring resonance as a collective. We bring resonance to this place when we are at our most highest state, if you will. When we're right with our heart, when our heart is in the right place, when our mind is slowed down, when our heart rate is slowed down, when our body is as relaxed as it is, we bring about this sense of resonance, and that grows, and it speaks to our collective. When we come into this place of creativity, let's say, when we have accepted a whole lot about ourselves, we've gone through forgiving ourselves, accepting a whole lot of ourselves, forgiving yourself for your own mistakes, and forgiving yourself for what you've done to people, and most especially what you've done to yourself. That opens you up to a whole new perception. And not only that, at this point, in this moment, you are now feeling yourself in a greater state, in a greater, more higher frequency. And as we do this, we also step into creativity. We step into a place of creativity we step into a place of more compassion, and we're bringing that in, and it's just like this infinite loop of I want to say resonance is what we're bringing about here. We're just like radiating this energy out. And not only are we feeling good and looking good as we do this, as we step into this place, I like to call this the safe space, where you feel most at home with yourself. It isn't this home that you're looking for on the outside. Take this as it resonates, Pisces. It's not having to also find validation on the outside, but this is this home, this is this familiar feeling that you get, that you bring about to yourself on your own, if that makes any sense. And when we step into this place, you are also having to inspire people around you, and perhaps maybe they are inspired by you and what you're doing and how you're creating, and even more creating for yourself. And like I said, you're not doing it to, get any validation. You're doing it because it makes you feel good. You're doing it because you're believing in yourself more. You're doing it because you're stepping into this place of faith, having more hope for yourself. And it is bringing a whole lot of luck, is what I'm getting. This place that you've been suppressing, or what has been suppressed for so long because of outside distractions, or perhaps there's a big part of you that you haven't really expressed for quite some time. Maybe you've just been way too busy with work. You've been way too busy and having to cater to other people. Sometimes we don't realize how much we're pleasing people too much and making them feel comfortable than actually having to make ourselves feel comfortable. Like I said, it is this place of sense of safe space, this home that you create within yourself. It's done by you. It's an inner job done by you. It isn't done by anyone else, It isn't one that is controlled too. But you're coming out of this feeling more and bigger and feeling a sense of victory. I'm getting that a lot. And I feel like you have so many options looking at you right now, like, oh my gosh, like opportunities after opportunities after opportunities. I don't know which one to choose. And you're just in the middle of it, in the center of it all, and you're just thinking, I just want to do what makes me feel good. Where do I have, sorry. Here. This is you having to come back to your own basic programming, Pisces. Your sense of flow. It's time to play. It's time to put on that invisible cloak and let yourself just shine. And to you, Pisces, this is like a priority. Maybe this is a part of you that has been suppressed and that you weren't very comfortable with it anymore. You just had to do something to get it out. Exactly. Stop trying to fix people. It is not your job to fix anyone. Allow people the dignity of their own paths, and that perhaps you have been for quite some time trying to please everybody around you. And we forget sometimes to come back to ourselves when we do this. I mean, it happens. Having to put ourselves in a state of gratitude always, this helps us come back to our sense of self. Don't wait for a crisis to happen to be grateful for your life. Focus on what you have to be thankful for right now. Focus on gratitude. Be in a state of gratitude. This gives you even more. When you're giving and you're not giving back to yourself, you also lose that sense of gratitude for yourself, and it leads to having to not have a sense of respect as well. And when we don't have a sense of respect for ourselves, we are treating everybody like such, if that makes sense. You know, how you talk to yourself, how you are with yourself is exactly how you are with the people around you. People at work, people at home. You know, you talk to yourself in a kind way. You are talking to people the same way. Appreciate the beauty of the moon to calm and center yourself, or to simply experience awe. Gaze at the moon, absorb the purity of energy, and sublime to presence. It is a priority to you, Pisces, to live up to your dreams. By and by, every single day, this is to be built and rebuilt. If you've failed a couple times, you don't give up. You keep yourself at a place where you're able to still function. You have to rebuild and rebuild and rebuild. Adding more to that every single day. It's like having to water your plants every single day, giving it the nurture and watching it grow, much like how you are watching yourself and your dreams come true. Be it that you want, Pisces. I feel that Sagittarius season is giving you a chance to do that. I suppose that it is your willingness that needs to happen here, that needs to show up. And not for everyone, but for your own good, for your own well-being, for your health, for your mental health, for your emotional health. It isn't something that you're having to prove to anybody around you. Not your parents, not your friends, not your boyfriend, not your girlfriend. Not even for your children. You're having to do this for yourself first, so that you're able to pour this out to everyone else around you with much ease and kindness, just out of the willingness of your heart. It isn't forced. It is flow. It is water. It is like water. It moves like water. It protects. It is much at ease at all times. This is for the purpose of following your body's cravings, desires, much like nature and love, and just play and being playful and being in a state of your flow, whatever that means for you, Pisces. No one else knows what that feels like but you. You may be an artist, a painter, a musician, you know, a lyricist, and you are one to just be in this flow and having to write and journal, dance and sing and paint. And maybe you're one interested in photography, and you're having to try out new angles, try out new lightings, and you want to discover more about photography. And this is something that you have been working on and practicing every single day, so you can get better at this. This is play. This is your sense of play. This is your sense of flow that you like to go into when you are feeling sad, when you are feeling depressed, when you're feeling anxious. This is a place where you come to, your safe space. This is a place that you come back to when you are feeling all of that uneasy feelings and emotions. And that's your way of having to channel. Just the joyous feeling that you get. It's also this sense I'm getting, you know, when you're by the water, it's just like the sound of the ocean. It's the sound of the birds singing around you. It's the light, the sun coming at you. It's in these moments where you find joy. Quest. The Pleiades light my quest to be wild and free. This is a sense of you that feels putting yourself in this state of freedom. We all deserve to feel that way. And when we have been working too much and putting all of our energy on work and work only, when we are having to just put our energy onto people who don't appreciate you time and time and time again, you just start to question yourself. Why am I not being seen as I am? Because you don't see yourself as you are. Who cares about what anyone else thinks around you? It's the fact that you don't see yourself as you are. Therefore, you don't see the world as you are, if that makes any sense. The little star, divine, my inner child is whole and complete. It is also, as harsh as it sounds, but it is also having to keep your distance. And I almost want to say like ignore other people, but maybe that isn't the right word. But more so just having to follow your body's voice and your body's desires. There is no reason to deprive your body of love, beauty, creativity, and inspiration. I experience ecstasy in my body and soul. Exactly. There's no reason to deprive yourself of all of that, because those are the things that keeps us alive, right? And I feel like Pisces, your flow is, you need to be in your flow. You can't lose your sense of flow, because when you lose your sense of flow, you get angry. You get angry with yourself. When you lose your sense of flow, you get aggravated with the world. You get aggravated with people, not knowing that you're being aggravated with people, you know? And now you're just projecting all of your anger and your deprivation to everybody else. You don't even realize that you're doing this, but your body's yearning for something, and now you're just in a state of anger all the time, and you're projecting it out to everyone, and you don't realize that you're actually hurting people when you do this. Dragon, supernatural. You are the ancient wise sage. You can shape shift at will. Mastery is your destiny. Rise with dignity. Be it as you are, Pisces. And be the change that you also want to see in the world. Thank you, Pisces, for letting me do this reading. Going into this reading, first of all, I actually was going to do this yesterday, but I was in a mood. I felt like I needed to just sit with whatever I was feeling. I was feeling extra sensitive with myself, and I knew that I didn't want to go into this reading feeling nasty. I like to get into these readings feeling complete and relaying the message is clear. But going into this reading, I was singing a lot. And it made me feel free. Like I can just be. No judgments. No weird looks. Just being myself. And I felt healthy. And I suppose you are feeling the same way, because you feel a sense of power that you're stepping into that you have forgotten for quite some time. And thank you for letting me vibe out to this energy, because it's dope and I really love it. Thank you, Pisces. I hope you guys have a wonderful Sagittarius season. Take care always. I'll see you guys in the next reading.